When I was a kid growing up in California, I used to visit my dad lived here and my mom was in California, and I would fly out here to visit my father and also my grandfather. And so my grandfather was a local business owner who almost 50 years ago started a driving range out in Mesa and then built up a retail golf store called Van's Pro Shop. And so I used to come out and hang out with him at the golf course during the summers. Probably not too many years ago, my wife and I really were thinking about where we wanted to put our roots and really kind of grow as a family. At that time, we had just had our first little girl, and we were wondering where would we end up. And we kept coming back to the city of Scottsdale. Really had sort of a heart and a passion for, I think, the community. Loved the environment of it, but also really there was a lot of great people, a lot of great business leaders and entrepreneurs just kind of in the community and the city. I really love the climate, the weather. Specifically, we live on the Greenbelt, so I think one of the aspects that we love so much about it is the fact that there's all this grass, which is kind of not in high, there's not a plethora of grass here. But what we do love about it is the chance to take our kids out on the Greenbelt, get on their bikes and kind of head down under the bridge and go down to the school there at Cochise and be able to just spend time with them in the park, go down to where the ponds are at McCormick Lake and be able to feed the ducks. I think those things are really what we love most as a family. I enjoy also the ability to climb Camelback Mountain and to see the beautiful kind of landscape and skyscapes that we have here. I love the activity of this community. First and foremost, I love my kids. I mean, being a father is such a thrill, such joy, and that's honestly the thing that I love most. And I've got 4 kids, 14, 8, 5, and 2, and they are each unique, they're each different, and they constantly challenge me and make me smile. But I also love sports. I'm an avid sportsman. I love anything related to whether it's baseball, football, talking about it, getting the chance to play it. I'm a little bit too competitive, I'll be honest with you. Probably if you've ever had to share a softball team with me, you're going to know that I've got some issues, but I like it that way. I'm half Italian. I love to tell people half Italian is better than none. So the good half of me is Italian, but it makes me passionate. It makes me competitive. I'm Brad. I'm the lead pastor of E3 Church in Scottsdale, Arizona. It's kind of interesting because if somebody was to ask me growing up if I thought about being a pastor of a church, probably would have been the least likely candidate. But over time I really began to think about what a church really should represent and what it's to be specifically in a community. And what excites me most about the opportunity of serving a community in this capacity is, one, I have some different ideas. About really what type of things should be shared within a community of faith. Number one, I'm about vision. I believe that for too long, a lot of people kind of have this idea, and it's kind of interesting because when I tell people I'm a pastor, usually they either apologize for what they just said or they kind of take a step back, and that's some of the things that I dislike about it. But most importantly, we want to create a place where people can be themselves. I feel like a church should be a place where people take off their masks and they're actually authentic with their life, and they're going through a process and a journey just like everybody is, and they're able to come and be themselves, and also they can be inspired to grow, that they can have a vision. They shouldn't be coming to a place where they hear, don't do this, don't do that. They should actually hear what they should be doing, and not from the standpoint of you're doing things wrong, but really it should be a vision. And I believe that Jesus came to show us the best possible way to live, and I really wanted to start a church that would reflect that. It would be a group of people who were passionate about being open and authentic with their lives, but they would also be learning what it means to be generous with their life. A couple of things we're passionate about is sending teams to places like Haiti. We have an orphanage that we support there. We send teams who go and they're able to play with the children that are there. We build for the actual group that's there as far as their housing, their facilities, and really get to know and be a support to the volunteers that are there year-round. In addition, out in Mexico, we work with a local ministry called AMOR. It stands for Aiding Mexican Orphans and Refugees. And we send teams out there at least twice a year, if not more, to be able to build houses for people that are less fortunate, who don't have homes. And so now we've been a part of several homes in a specific community that is impoverished, that we love to go back and be able to be a blessing. I think it's important to get to know the community, to be involved with it. I think it's important to open up your heart and to be authentic. I think so many times people try to be a copycat of somebody else, but if you can find your voice and find really specifically why you and why your gifts can serve a specific city, I think it's probably the most important thing that can happen. My name is Brad Larson, and I am Scottsdale.